Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I'm going to share my journey of how I managed to get out of over $100,000 in debt in less than 2 years. By the way, my name's Krista, a certified financial coach and expert in the field of personal finance. So, it wasn't easy, but with hard work, strategy, and some tough decisions, I turned my financial situation around during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I did it, from the buying and selling of a home to tackling student loans to taking on multiple jobs. So, if you're struggling with debt or looking for inspiration to take control of your finances, this video is for you. Let's get into it. Before I got started, my debt situation was pretty overwhelming. Like many people, I had student loans, credit card debt, and a car lease, which made it hard to feel like I was getting ahead. My student loan balance was $65,000 a year. My car lease was worth about $25,000, and I had about $5,000 in credit card debt. All of this was hanging over my head, but at the same time, I knew I needed to take action to change my life and my finances. So, what was the turning point for me? It was actually when I discovered Dave Ramsey and his philosophy on getting out of debt. For those of you who don't know, Dave Ramsey is a financial expert who teaches people how to live debt free by following a set of principles, like the snowball method. I started listening to his podcast and reading his books, and honestly, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I realized that I had to stop letting my debt control me and instead take control of it. At this point, I decided to take an aggressive approach to pay off my debt. The plan wasn't going to be easy, but I knew it was possible. Now, let's talk about one of the most important decisions I made during this time: buying and selling a home. In the middle of the COVID pandemic, I saw an opportunity in the real estate market. I was able to sell my home and make a profit of around $80,000 after taxes. This was a game changer because that profit allowed me to pay off a significant portion of my debt. Once I sold my house, I used that 80,000 to do three things. I paid off my car lease, I paid down my student loans, and I cleared my credit card debt. Yes, you heard that right. I was able to pay off everything all at once, but let me tell you, it wasn't just luck. I made sure I was strategic about how I spent that money. One of the most powerful tools I learned from Dave Ramsey was the debt snowball method. This strategy focuses on paying off your smallest debts first while making minimum payments on larger debts. This approach helps build momentum as you tackle each debt. For me, that meant starting with the credit card bills. I paid off the $5,000 in credit card debt first. Once that was gone, I tackled the car lease. Finally, I used the remaining profits to pay down my student loans. It was a long and tough journey, but having that clear plan helped keep me focused. And with the extra cash from my jobs, I was able to make big strides in the short amount of time that we had left. While paying off debt was my main focus, I also knew that building my wealth for the future was just as important. At the same time, I was also learning more about the FIRE movement. So I decided to take action by maximizing my retirement and health savings accounts. This is where my promotions and part time job came in. I was fortunate to receive two promotions during this time, which increased my salary to over $120,000 a year. But instead of using all of that extra income for immediate debt repayment, I made the decision to prioritize saving for my future as well. One of the best financial moves I made was to max out my 401k, Roth IRA, and HSA. This allowed me to take advantage of tax benefits and to ensure I was building long term wealth, all while continuing to pay down my debt. My employer offered matching contributions of 4%, which is essentially free money. So I made sure I was contributing the maximum not only to receive that free money, but also to gain the tax advantages which came with maxing out your 401k contributions. I also funded my Roth IRA to take advantage of tax free growth for retirement. On top of that, I contributed to an HSA for health care expenses. It's a triple tax advantage account, meaning that I get tax deductions up front, it grows tax free, and I can withdraw the money tax free for medical expenses. In addition, if I have leftover HSA money after I get to the age of 65, I will be able to use that money for any expenses I would like. To give you an idea, my goal now wasn't only to pay off debt. I was setting myself up for financial success down the road. By focusing on these retirement and savings accounts, I was able to build a strong financial foundation for my future while still tackling my current debt. In fact, I took on a part time job which brought in an additional $5,000 a year. And instead of using that extra money to pay off debt right away, I used it to boost my contributions to these accounts. It was all about long term planning, even while I was working to get out of debt. So, where am I now? Well, I've paid off 40% of my mortgage, which feels incredible. And most importantly, I'm now debt free outside of my mortgage. It's been a long road, but it's been worth it. One of the key moves I made during this process was also to reduce my monthly expenses. When you're working to pay off debt and build savings, cutting unnecessary spending is certainly crucial. Let me tell you how I did it. At one point, I realized that my monthly expenses were a big drain on my finances. So I set a goal to reduce my expenses as much as possible. I knew the less I spent, the faster I could pay off debt, save for retirement, and invest in my future. I made the conscious decision to live below my means, and I got really intentional with my spending. I managed to reduce my monthly expenses down to just $2,000. That's right, $2,000 a month for everything. This wasn't about living an uncomfortable life, it was more about prioritizing what really mattered and cutting out the excess. I reviewed my expenses carefully, identified what I could eliminate, and found creative ways to save. I started cutting back on non essential subscriptions. So, all those streaming services, gone. I also reduced dining out, cooking more at home, and took advantage of bulk shopping for groceries. For utilities, I found ways to reduce electricity usage and I renegotiated my phone plan to a more affordable option. And as for housing, I made sure that I was living in a place where the rent or mortgage payment was affordable and aligned with my goal of reducing expenses. By focusing on the essentials and being more mindful of where my money went, I was able to keep my expenses to just $2,000 per month, which freed up more money to pay down debt, contribute to my 401k, Roth IRA, and HSA, and also save for future goals. This wasn't easy at all, but it gave me the financial freedom to build the life I wanted without overextending myself. Reducing my monthly expenses wasn't just about cutting back, it was about being strategic with every dollar I spent. This helped me get ahead faster and made sure I was not drowning in unnecessary financial stress. Now, here's a big twist in my journey. After working hard to pay down my debt and increase my income, I made the bold decision to leave my high paying job and pursue a career I'm truly passionate about. I'm no longer chasing that paycheck. I'm following my dreams, and it feels amazing. I know this was the right decision for me, and I believe that the financial stability I've gained gives me the freedom to take this step. Getting out of debt in under 2 years wasn't easy, but it was definitely worth it. I hope my story has inspired you to take action and start your own journey towards financial freedom. Whether you're just starting to pay off debt or you're in the middle of your journey, just remember it's possible to make a change. And with the right mindset, strategy, and hard work, you can achieve your financial goals as well. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more videos about personal finance and achieving your dreams. I'd love to hear your story in the comments below. What steps are you taking to pay down debt or build wealth? See you next time.